In this beginner series, I'll be showing you today how to trade shooting star and gravestone doji like a pro. And don't forget, in my previous video I showed you how all these signal candles perform, and then shooting star I showed you the criteria to look for shooting star. What are the things to look for to see shooting star? This is a shooting star, and there must be a preceding uptrend before you see the shooting star. Those are the things that we highlighted in my previous video, and today I want to show you how you can trade it in really good time. There are some things that you need to do whenever you want to trade a shooting star. The first thing that you need to do is to mark the high and mark the low of the signal candle. So you mark the high and the low of the signal candle. So when you mark the high and you mark the low of the signal candle, so that's the first thing that you need to do. You have to jot it down so that you know how to repeat yourself next time. You mark the high and low of the signal candle, and the second thing that you need to do is to check if the signal candle is valid. And how do you check if the signal candle is valid? Just by checking the signal candle if it's valid is by looking left. You have to look to the left side so that you can see what has happened in history. So how do you look? You just look to the left side. I have these in my zone. I have this previous resistance and previous support, and there's this future resistance. So all you need to look for in these two zones is to look for within these two zones is to look for a support or resistance within these two zones. You need to look for support or resistance within two zones, so that will ensure that your signal is valid. So let's go back to our signal. So we can see that the signal is valid right now. The signal is valid right now. And how do we know that the signal is valid? Just by looking left. You look left and see if you have a support or resistance within this zone by looking to the previous data, by looking left. So when you look left, you are looking for any support or resistance within these two zones. So once you see any of that one or two confirmation is okay. The third thing that you need to do is to check for the confirmation candle. And how do you check for confirmation candle? You need to look for a candle that close below this line, the bottom line of the shooting star. You need to look for a candle that close below. Any candle that do a wick like this is not closing below. This is not the close, because market closed back inside. Just like in this case, market closed back inside. This is not a valid close. Market just test it and close back inside. This is not valid. So you have to look for a candle that closed below, and this is the candle that just does justice to that. So you look for the candle that closed below, and then you will now begin to look for your entry. So let's do the replay and see how this thing happened in the real life. So now you can begin to see that this is what happens. You don't see anything to the right side, and only what you see to the left side is to mark the high and the low of the signal candle. So we have done that, and then you now to see if the signal is valid. We have done that. The next thing you need to do is to check for the confirmation candle, and that is it. You need to check for your confirmation candle, and then let's see the confirmation candle right now. You can see now, you can see that your confirmation candle is already formed. So right now you see the signal candle. This is the signal candle. This is the signal candle, the shooting star, and we already look like the signal candle is valid. So we saw a resistance and support within this zone in previous data. We see the support or resistance in previous data, and then the third thing that you need to do is to look for a candle that close below this level. So you need to look for a candle that close below this level, the bottom line of your shooting star. You need to look for a candle that close below. We saw that candle close below it, and then this one almost close below, then close back inside. This is not a valid close. This one is just a retest, but we saw this one market close below. And then what you need to do now, to trade it very effectively like a pro, what you need to do is someone can ask you to put a sell signal here and put your stop loss here. It's not a smart entry, so you need to do or wait for a market to retest this line one more time. You put a sell limit there and you begin to sell. So right now, let's see what we're going to do. We're going to put a sell order in that place. We're going to pull a sell order right here. We're going to pull a sell order right here, and we are risking towards the high of the shooting star. So we are risking this high, few pips above the high, and then we are going to multiply our stop loss by 2. This is 19 pips. Let's just say 20 pips. So to get 40 pips, 20 to get 40 pips. So 1:2 is good. As a good trader, what you need to do is to go for 1:2 or more. As a good trader, you need to go for 1:2 or more. You don't need to win every trade. You just need to win 50% of your trade to be in profit. So as a good trader, you don't need to feel bad when you just lose a single trade. You don't feel bad when you lose a single trade. You have to put a trade in a group. You have to look at 10 trades in a row, 20 trades in a row before you can think of your strategy is not working. That is that about that. So let's continue and see how this particular setup works out. So you can see that markets activate our sell signal now. Market activate our sell signal. So market is coming down. Market is coming down, going to our profit target. Market is going to our profit target. Oh, market hit the profit target now. You can see that market hit the profit target now. So we just hit our profit target. 40 pips now in the basket. 40 pips now in the basket. So let's look for another trade. Let's go to another pair and see how we can see. So this one we just traded right now is the Great Britain pounds US dollar. So let's look for another pair and we trade it. This is another one. This is another one. So I told you Gravestone Doji and the shooting star. They look very closely. Gravestone Doji does not have real body, but they work the same way as a shooting star. They work the same way as a shooting star. So let's trade this and see how it's going to happen, how it's going to work out. The first thing I told you how to trade shooting star is to mark the high and the low. You mark the high of this shooting star and you mark the low of the shooting star. You mark the high and low of the shooting star. That is it. You mark the high and low of the shooting star. And the second thing that you need to do is to check if your signal is valid. So to check if your signal is valid, you need to look at the previous data. So all you need to look at is you want to see whether you see a resistance or a support within this zone. You want to see whether you can see a support or resistance within that zone. That will ensure that your signal is valid. You can see right here, we can see a resistance here, a support here. Okay, 1 or 2 is okay. 1 or 2 is okay. Now let's go back to our setup. Let's go back to our setup. Now back to the setup. Back to the setup right now. So the third thing that you need to do after you see your signal candle, you mark the high and low of the signal candle, and then you already check if the signal is valid. And right here, there's another resistance right there that shows that the signal is valid. So that's the second thing. You have to check if your signal is valid. But the third thing you need to do is to look for a candlestick that close below your shooting star. You can see this one touches your shooting star, go deeper inside the shooting star, but does not close below it. So it's a no trade for you. It's a no trade for you. But when you see this candle close below, and then this candle close below, then let's do the replay and you'll see what happened in real time. We'll see what happened in real time. This is what happened when you see your signal. There will not be anything to the right side. There will not be anything to the right side. So everything will be blank, but you will make decision based on the previous data. You make decision based on the previous data. And what you need to do now, you're waiting for the candle close below this Gravestone Doji to ensure that the market is ready to go down to confirmation candle. You can see that this candle does not close below. It goes a little bit deeper, but towards the end of the session, market closed back inside. So let's see. Now you see that the next candle closed below. Now I saw my confirmation candle that market is ready to go down. I saw my confirmation candle right now that market is ready to go down. So what do I need to do again? I need to pull out my tools, a selling tool, to check my stop loss and my take profit. Put my sell limit right there. So you put your sell limit just by this line. Put your sell limit by that line. Then you risk high, like 1 or 2 pips above this Gravestone Doji is fine. 1 or 2 pips above this Gravestone Doji is fine. So right now I'm risking, let's say 15 pips to get 30 pips. 15 pips to get 30 pips. Like I told you the other time, 1:2 is fine. So if you want to be a good trader, you have to go for 1:2 or more. You have to go for 1:2 or more. You can see market go back up. Now the trade is activated. The trade is activated right now. Market is going down. Market is going down, going down towards our profit target. Market is going towards our profit target. You can see, wait, market hit the profit target. You can see that market hit the profit target right now. So that's the second trade in a row that market is hitting our profit target. Not that every trade you are trading, you are going to hit the profit target. Sometimes you are not going to hit the profit target. Market is going to kiss your stop loss sometimes. Market is going to kiss your stop loss. But be assured that every trade you are going for 1:2. As a beginner, you are going for 1:2 as a beginner. And don't go for 1:3, 1:4. But for now, just go for 1:2. There's some advanced signal that will ensure that when you go for 1:3 or 1:4, you are going to hit your profit target. But at this level, always aim for 1:2 minimum risk reward. And then there's some things as a beginner that you need to know. You need to let your amount you are risking on every trade be fixed. As you just win now, you increase your risk. No, you are not going to do that. You are going to risk, let's say you are risking $100 on every trade. Continue to risk that $100 for the next 10 trade or the next 20 trade. That's how to be a good trader. So only trade, whether you have a larger stop loss or a smaller stop loss, continue to be using that your $100 in every trade. You can see that in the previous video we risk like 20 pips. In this one we really risk like 15 pips. But in any case, continue to be risking your $100. And how do you know how much you are going to risk? Now let's go to baby pips and see how you can calculate your position loss. Let's say you are risking $100 on this trade. You are risking $100 on this trade. Let's go to baby pips and see how you calculate it. This is baby pips position lot size calculator. So all you need to do is to put your $100 that you are risking, and then how many percentage you are risking. You are risking 100% of your money. You are risking 100% of your money. What's the lot size? You go back to your setup. You go back to your setup. The stop loss. The stop loss is 15 pips. You go back here and put your stop loss 15 pips. And then what's the currency pair you are trading? We are currently trading Euro USD. You put your Euro USD and then you click on calculate. Once you click on calculate, this is the one that you are going to use. You are going to use standard loss size, and then the position size you are going to use in this trade is 0.66. So you ensure that you use the 0.66 on that trade whenever you are trading it. So let's go back to our setup. So in this trade, what you have to do, if you want to risk $100 on this trade, so your lot size will be 0.66 on this trade. So you ensure that, so you are going to risk $100 to make $200. So whenever market hits your stop loss, you are going to lose $100. But whenever market hits your profit target, you are going to have $200 added to your bank account. That is it. Let's go to another trade. How to trade. Now we have seen how to trade shooting star. We have seen how to trade Gravestone Doji. Let's go and check one or two more before we call it a day in this series. I told you in my previous video that the green shooting star can also work like a red shooting star. Just like you need confirmation and you need to follow the procedures that we have been saying from the beginning. So you need to mark the high and the low of the signal candle, and then because of our time I've checked it and then it is valid. It is valid, and then what you need to do again is to look for a candle that closed below this particular candlesticks. So right now we are going to look for the candle that closed below these candlesticks to ensure that our signal is valid. You can see that market is going up and down inside it. So market is going, so we are trying to look for the next candlestick that closed below it. Without any candle close below it, we are not in the trade. Okay, right now we are already having a confirmation candlesticks. So right now these are confirmation candlesticks that ensure that market is going down, because anything aside from this candle, we are not sure if the market is going down yet. So what we need to do now is to pull out our tools. You have to pull out our tools and set up the trade. So you set up the trade. So you are going to this. Don't forget, this is 3 hours time frame. This 3 hours time frame, and the pair is a Great Britain pounds, Japanese yen, and we are just risking about 50 pips to get 100 pips. That is 1:2. Don't forget, I told you you have to be risking $1 to get $2. I have to be doing 1:2, minimum of 1:2 whenever you are trading as a beginner. There's a way you can get more risk reward, but that will be an advanced one, and it's not going to be a single candle like this that will be giving you that one. It has to be a couple of short pattern that will ensure that you get more risk reward. But as a beginner, your goal is to get 1:2. You don't need to win all the trade, just like I said earlier. You don't need to win all the trades. You just need to win like 50% of your trade. If you have 10 trades, just win 5. You win 5, you're already in money. So if you win more than 5, that is fine. And if you win like 7, 8, you are in big profit. So as a beginner, you don't get mad when you just lose a trade. You know, the goal is not getting mad when you lose a trade. You have to put 10 trades in a row, 20 trades in a row, then you record your every trade. Another thing I want to add is this. You have to be risking the fixed amount on every trade. If you are risking 100, continue risking 100 on every trade up to 10 or 20 trades. So continue risking 100. Whether the last one is a loss or the last one is a win, continue risking $100 on the trade for the next 10 to 20 trades. Even if you just lose your last trade, continue using $100. That's how you can be able to scale your account, because if you are risking $100 and you lose $5 trades, so that means you just you lose $500 out of 10 trades, and you win 5 trades right now, so you win 200. That is 1:2. Don't forget, you have to be going for 1:2 every time. So if you win 5 trades, you just win 200 times 5. That is $1,000. Okay, if you net profits, you have plus $500. So that is how to be a good trader. That's how to be a good trader. You have to be very fixed about amount you are risking every time. So your stop loss can be changing depending on your strategy, but you have to keep on risking same amount of money. Okay, let's go back to the trade right now. Let's see what happened to this trade. Maybe the trade activated or not. Let's see. Okay, you can see the trade activated right now. So the trade activated now we are in minus. We are in minus. We are in drawdown right now. And now we are in little profit, drawdown. Okay, we are in more profit right now. Market is going towards our profit target. Market is giving us okay, a little bit okay. So we are going towards the place. Okay, market is going towards our profit target right now. Market hit the profit target now. You can see that market hit the profit target right now. Market hit the profit target right now. You can see market hit the profit target on this candle. Market hit the profit target on this candle. So market hit the profit target on this candle. So, but if you are not sure, market really hit. Let me clear it so that you can see that market actually hit the profit target. So if you are not sure on this one, you can see that market hit the profit target. So that is how we are going to trade shooting star and a gravestone doji like a pro. And don't forget, the first thing is to mark the high and low of your signal candle. You mark the high and low of your signal candle, and then the next thing to do is to check. You look left. So checking the validity of your signal just means to look left. You look left if you can see a resistance or support within these two zones. You look for a resistance or support within this zone. If you see any 1 or 2 or 3 is valid, so it's okay for you. Then the next thing is to do, the third thing to do is to wait for a candle to close below the low of this shooting star. So when the candle closes below the low of the shooting star, the next thing to do is to put a sell limit right here. You put a sell limit at the low of the shooting star, sit exactly at the same spot with this line. Then you keep your stop loss few pips above, like 2-3 pips above this high of your signal candle. Then you sit back and wait for your trade to unfold. You sit back and wait for your trade to unfold. One thing you have to notice as a trader is, so once you set this thing up, you need to wait for just 2 things. It's either market hits your stop loss or market hits your profit target. If you are cutting your profit halfway, you are not going to be a good trader. If you are cutting your lens, you see you are halfway profit here, and market come back here, you say, oh, why am I'm having like $100 out of my $200? Okay, why is it reducing to $20? So whenever you now have another $100, you cut it. So you are not going to be a good trader. And the another thing that will help you as a beginner is for you to have a trading journal. So in a trading journal, you record your trade, and you must be risking the same amount for the next 10 trades. At least the 10 trades, you must continue to risk the same amount. Even if you are winning back to back, don't scale up the amount you are risking. Continue risking the same amount. Even if you just lose your last 3 trades, continue risking the same amount of money that you are risking. That will ensure that you become a good trader in no time. See you in the next episode of this series, how to trade hammer and dragonfly doji. Subscribe to my channel, click the like button and notification button to see my next video. You can also join my Telegram group. In my free Telegram group, I drop signal for the students, and then I also show them how and why I'm taking every trade that I'm taking. And then you can also join my students. I have the students around the world, so join my students. There's a link to this description. I will put a link there so that you can join my students. There's a link that you can link up and then stand up to be my student around the world. That is all about that. So click on the link on your screen to see my previous video. See you next time.